Here we go.
I'm good right here.
That's not this type of show. Hey, everybody. Hi, Shane. We're in the same shot. Hello. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Have a seat, everybody. Have a seat. Have a seat. So you're probably wondering, happy Monday. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. You are probably wondering why this looks like, you're probably thinking, if you're a regular viewer of the show, you're probably thinking, this looks like the end of the show when we're sitting at the couch. No, this is the beginning of the show. We are having a technical difficulty. We have that, we call it the big old Jumbotron. One of the squares of the Jumbotron is literally showing like Popeye reruns. So we are unable to go, yeah, we can't show it. Yeah, there's it. Let's take a shot of it right there. There we go. Yeah, and we look at that poor little square.
It's cold.
One poor little square isn't working. So we are over here on our lovely banana couches. So that's right. Yeah. How you doing?
Good. This has felt like a very long day.
Real? Oh, well, for you, because if you guys don't know, I nickname her Traffic Tina. When she's not here, you're beep beep. That's what I call it. Beep beep. Shane Wells, you are doing the traffic for Fox 9. Crazy day today.
It was long. We started 30 minutes earlier than normal, and we went an hour longer than normal with traffic.
Oh.
So, I mean, that's how bad it
Oh.
was.
Yeah, it was.
It dictated that.
I live in downtown Minneapolis. Obviously, our studios are here in Eden Prairie. And I didn't realize how bad it was going to be. And I pull out of my garage, and there's a hill. And I went up the hill, and I went down the hill. And I was like, oh, this is not good. And I'm screaming. I'm making up cuss words. I'm praying to Jesus. And then it just stopped. And then I was able, thank you, audience. And then I was able to kind of go away. But yeah, that brings me to something. I always try to start with a little story or something. We're going to be doing probably at some point a segment called Here's the Deal, where I just go off on something like that. I'm sure you guys feel the same way. And I think this is one of those times. Speaking of dangerous roads and just dangerous conditions, I have a little bone to pick with some people. And that is, no, you guys will be with me on this one, though. And I'll make this brief, but crosswalks. I am not joking. Look, I could be overly dramatic for the sake of trying to make you all laugh. But Colin told me, late last week, I was about a foot from being hit by a car. Like a foot at a really busy crosswalk in my neighborhood. But this goes, I don't care if you live in Coon Rapids, Inver Grove Heights, South St. Paul. There's always a busy crosswalk in whatever town you live in. And I am just asking the drivers of our lovely state in Wisconsin, please stop for the pedestrians that are walking in the crosswalk. It is the law. It is the law. Now look, the law also says you just can't run out at the last minute and expect the cars to stop. I did not do that at this crosswalk. I was already clearly out of the crosswalk, and this car couldn't have cared less and was this close from hitting me. And in this crosswalk, which isn't really well marked, Mayor Jacob Fry, just saying, City Council,
on blast.
Little suggestion for you. I'm just saying it's a really busy crosswalk. I have been beeped at. I have been cursed at. I have been flipped the finger, all just because I'm a pedestrian going through the crosswalk. And I'm thinking, do you not read the Minnesota Department of Transportation driver's manual? You yield to pedestrians.
It's a law everywhere.
It is a law. I don't know what's up with people. But I will repeat, because I don't want the emails, the law also says you just can't run out into the street at the last minute. I get that. You don't have to email. I'm just saying, but if the pedestrian's out there, y'all have to stop. So thank you very much. And Mayor Jacob Fry, if you would like to email me, we can have a coffee, and I'll tell you where all the lights need to be. Thank you. Yeah. And Melvin, and Mayor Melvin. So it's bad.
It's really bad. I lived downtown too back in the day.
And it's
tried to walk with the baby, the dog.
People don't pay attention.
Always like risking my life to get across the street. It shouldn't be.
Well, here we go. We're not going to risk our lives here. It's time for the hot dish, everybody. Let's go. It's so weird being over here. Anyway, hey, what did you guys watch last night? There was the sports ball game on last night, and a lot of people are talking about, not the game, because it was like, I mean, please, Frogger knows more about football than I do, and I can tell you that was a boring game. People were really talking, though, still it's trending in Minneapolis and St. Paul, about the halftime show with Maroon 5. If you, turned over to the Puppy Bowl during it, here's a little clip.
I'm hurting, baby. I'm broken down. I need your loving, I need it now. When I'm without you, I'm something weak. You got me begging, I'm on my knees. I don't wanna be needing your love. I just wanna be deep in your love. And it's gonna matter when you're away. Oh, baby, 'cause I really don't care where you are. I don't wanna be there where you are. Gotta get one little taste. Come on. Sugar, yes, please. Won't you come and put it down on me? Alright.
Okay. Tepid applause by our audience. Maroon 5, they weren't alone. They were joined at some points during the performance by half of Outkast, Big Boy, and then Travis Scott as well. Did you watch it?
My cable was out.
Oh, that's right.
True story.
You were like a pilgrim. You
we
didn't even
woke
have...
up on the Sunday morning, and I'm like, you're right, the cable's out, and they can't come till Tuesday. I'm actually more upset that The Bachelorette or The Bachelor's on tonight. And
And you can't watch it? Come to my house. You can watch it over at my house.
That's what I was just going to do.
Don't bring the kids, but you can come. Yeah.
That's part of the deal. But don't bring your children.
Don't bring the children. Just bring that. I'll give you some wine. Just come over. Don't bring the children. No, I'm just joking. Look, people on Twitter were ripping Maroon 5 for, you name it, they were ripping. People called it boring. People called it flat. I will say this. I have no problem admitting, look, I like Maroon 5 songs. They're fine. But I will be critical here. Adam looked bored. Adam barely smiled, and he looked either uncomfortable or bored. People were also ripping him because he took his shirt off. Yeah. They're like, yeah. Really, Aaron Schwab? Whatever. People were like, well, Janet Jackson got in trouble for showing her bloop bloop, but Adam Levine can, and I thought, okay, people, here's the deal. Janet, A, was an accident, and B, look, this is a societal argument that we can't have right now. Society is saying women's are scary for whatever reason, and men's, we can walk around shirtless. So that's, you know what I mean?
I'm just glad he stopped there, because he was taking a layer off at every song.
Yeah.
And you're like, how many songs are there? Poker. I don't need to see all that.
Oh, it was fine. I think he's a good guy, but people said that this made Justin Timberlake's performance last year look good. And I don't know.
Good.
I liked it too.
It was good.
Here's the thing, though, about the Super Bowl performances, because obviously you guys know there's a lot of controversy. Rihanna turned it down to support Colin Kaepernick. We ain't going to get into that. That is too weighty for this show. But I will say, I was thinking about this. What's the NFL going to do next year? What are they going to do in 2021? Because this is the playing the halftime show is turning into the hosting the Oscars.
True.
It is a thankless job. No matter what you do, people are not going to like you. And we're running. And the other part of it is we're running out of stars that can command that stage. We've sadly lost Prince, which, by the way, can we just acknowledge that Prince was the best Super Bowl halftime show? Yeah, you know what I mean? But we're running out of performers.
They're going to have to do like a best of, get back Lady Gaga and get back Britney and Aerosmith.
Or have the audience play skee ball in the middle. I don't know. But anyway, next in the dish, before the game started, the Empress of Soul took the 50-yard line. This was my favorite part. They could have ended the game after this. The game hadn't even started. Anyway, Gladys Knight sang the national anthem. Look at this.
And the rockets, red blood, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Yep. The Empress of Soul. She looks... understandably so. Folks are giving her rave reviews. For the bettors out there, all of you that put money down, the rendition clocked in at 1 minute, 49 seconds, if you laid money down on that.
Wasn't there some controversy on that, too?
What do you mean?
Because she said the word brave twice, and I think they clock it at the word brave, so their bettors were all up in arms. It's like, what will be the official time?
Oh, settle down. It's Gladys Knight.
Google it.
Let her do whatever
she it doesn't matter what she does.
Yeah. She looked fantastic last night.
And isn't she like...
Yeah. She's late research team in the control room. How old is Gladys Knight? I think she's in her 70s,
She rumored
mid-70s.
to be on The Masked Singer.
She's rumored to be one of the masks. Yes,
Right.
In The Masked Singer. I think she is actually. I really do. I think she's going to be one of the finales. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Have we found out how old she is? I think she's like 75, maybe.
Wow.
74. I was close. 74. There we go. Next in the dish to infinity and beyond. Other than the game, the halftime show, most of you watch for the commercials, and some of the commercials had some great movie previews like this one. We got to look at the upcoming 4th Toy Story movie. Disney released a sneak peek in a little 30-second spot. If you missed it, this is really cute. Look at this.
You got a friend in me.
Wow, this place is amazing.
Wasn't Buzz gonna meet us here?
He must be held up somewhere.
Hey, up here, Astro Boy.
If you think you can take our top prize spot, you're wrong.
Dead wrong.
Help me get out of here.
Oh, I'll help you. With my foot. Wow! Yeah! How you like that, cheetah? Oh, to infinity and my foot! Boom! In the vacuum of space, they cannot hear you scream! Oh.
That's cute.
As a big Pixar Disney fan, I was worried. I think they should have ended at 3. But if the powers that be think they have a good story, I'm okay with 4, and everyone's involved that was in the originals, basically. So I'm okay with it. The concept looks cool. Because remember, at the end of 3, Andy kind of grows up. So Buzz Lightyear obviously has been shipped off to a carnival. So that's a funny premise. I like that. I thought we were going to do Twilight. We'll do that a little bit because we'll do this in the show. One of the commercials that was a preview that I was so excited for was a look at the new Twilight Zone. We're going to show you that a little bit later in the show. So good.
Yeah.
So good. That's coming up. We have a great show. Grab another cup of coffee and meet me back here in just a few minutes. Back after this. Coming up in just a bit, Ariana Grande, who looks like Pete Davidson has moved on, and the actress he's been seen with may surprise you. TMZ has the story. Then, I told you, so many of you watched the documentary Abducted in Plain Sight on Netflix, and your reactions and your 20-minute faces were priceless. We'll show them to you in just a little bit. And the good, the bad, and the so boring Super Bowl commercials. Which ones, if any, will be remembered? We're breaking it down when the Jason Show continues.
I wanted to kind of just wear the kind of clothes that I do in real life. The only thing that's important to me is that I wear a jacket. I have to wear a jacket.
Why is this?
Thank you for asking.
It's
going just as we rehearsrsed. I have to wear a jacket because I have to break up where the middle of my body is, because I have and this is a confession, I have a very disproportionate body. I have very, very long legs and then this tiny little torso that sits atop and people think I'm exaggerating, but I can prove to you that I am not. No. Look at it. This is my natural. And look, Steven.
Yes?
I look like a shorebird avoiding an oil spill, don't I? It's just a freak show, and then I have this little R2-D2 body on top.
I love him. He's so good. Welcome back. Conan O'Brien with Colbert last night following the Super Bowl. I love that. I love that we've gotten away, with the TV bosses. The fact that two competitors can be on each other's shows, I like that. I think we, the viewer, like seeing those two guys together. Conan's so good. If you haven't watched the revamped Conan show on TBS, you should. It's really good. You know, on Mondays we get a special serving of hot dish all the way from Hollywood. Audience, please give it up for Charles from TMZ. Hi, Charles.
Hey, Jason, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Not bad. I've survived the boringest Super Bowl. I'm making that a word now. The most boringest Super Bowl ever.
I've seen Little House on the Prairie episodes more exciting. Yeah.
Don't knock Little House. Don't knock Little House, Jason.
I love Mary. First up, you guys have the latest. You guys have the latest on Jussie Smollett. What do you know?
Yeah, Jussie made a, triumphant return. He performed this weekend in West Hollywood at the famed Troubadour. It was the show that was scheduled, obviously, before what went down in Chicago, but he said, he got on stage and said, look, I wasn't going to miss this. The quote was, I had to be here tonight. I couldn't let those blank, some profanity, I couldn't let them win. And he performed, several of his songs to it. The crowd loved it. At the end of the show, he did ask for solidarity. He said that he was proud to be black, and to be gay, and he wasn't going to back down from after the attack. He says it went down in Chicago. So he's carrying on his career. Still nothing from no leads on the attackers though.
Yeah, I hope we hear something. I know he cleared some stuff up too, some misconceptions about what happened, which is good. Yeah. Well, let's move on to happier news. Pete Davidson is moving on like really quickly. And I'm really surprised who he's with, Charles.
Pete Davidson, I got to tell you, Pete Davidson is very quickly rising in the ranks here of just that guy. Like we always just talk about David Spade. David Spade for decades has been with the most beautiful women. And now I guess just if you're funny, it works because we got Pete Davidson out Friday night with Kate Beckinsale. He was performing, did stand-up shows in West Hollywood this weekend. And he was walking out of one of the shows hand in hand with Kate Beckinsale. There have been rumors for about a month now that they were seeing each other. This is the first time we've seen like PDA. They were very clearly together. They didn't answer any questions. They got in a car and they went to a hotel in Santa Monica. So good for them.
Charles, you know bluntly why we love this Pete Davidson story is because Pete gives all of us average-looking guys hope.
Exactly. That's what we've been saying about David Spade for years. But here's the thing. We're not as funny as they are.
No.
That's the thing that they have. So it doesn't matter if you're average-looking. You gotta have something. You gotta be funny. You gotta sing. What do you got, Jason?
I was a mime in high school.
That'll work. There are some people who are into that.
Yeah. Charles, have a good week. Thank you so much, buddy. Charles from TMZ.
All right, you too, Jason.
You can watch TMZ. Some people probably wish I was a mime and wouldn't talk. Well, not you, Aaron. Yeah. You can watch TMZ on TV. Just check your local listings. Still ahead, everybody. We're running down the best and the worst Super Bowl commercials. But next, we asked you to watch Abducted in Plain Sight and send us your selfies while watching, and you delivered. We'll tell you about the documentary and your reaction when we come back. Back after this, my friends. Happy Monday. Welcome back, everybody. Our hour on the couch.
Comfy.
I was saying, I feel like we're in therapy, an hour on the couch. You know what I mean? That's what this is.
This sometimes can feel
Tell
like
me about your
therapy.
problems, Shane. I'll tell you about
Where
mine.
should we start? No.
Well, I don't know. Where should we start? Welcome back. On Friday, I talked about the jaw-dropping Netflix documentary called Abducted in Plain Sight. I know many of you, because you told me on Twitter, I love it. We're like friends. You guys got a chance to watch it this weekend. So if you don't know, it is the story of a girl in 1974 who was abducted by a family friend not once, but twice, and managed to escape. That's her sister right there. Her family tells the story, the unbelievable, that's the mother, the unbelievable story of what happened. Now, Shane, you, executive producer Jeff, producer Ted, everybody, the staff watched it. There's the perpetrator right there. There's the Merv Perv monster. And there she is all grown up. What did you think? Your reaction?
I hated it. I really did because
I know. It's not something to love.
It's unbelievable, but it's infuriating. Like, these parents are just, they're dumb. I hate to say that, but they allowed this to happen to their daughter twice. And there's so much more that goes into the story of the things that they allowed to happen to them and to their daughter.
Yeah.
So for me watching this, I think, we watched 3 Identical Strangers. We both loved that one. That one you watch and it freaks you out because it could happen to you. This couldn't happen to anybody who had half a brain.
Yeah, it is, and I find it interesting, and I said this on Friday, it's fascinating. You're a perfect example, Jeff. Everyone's first reaction, I shouldn't say everyone, the vast majority of people that I've spoken to, when they come out of this, their rage isn't at the perpetrator, which, let's be honest, that's where it should be.
True.
I want to be very clear on that. It's fascinating to me that everybody's first comment is about the parents, because you're so shocked by their behavior. And let me tell you, there's a couple revelations where you're like, what? So again, having said that about the serious part, here's where we were like, I told you about the 20-minute face. On Friday, I urged you to send me your reaction, little pic, to something that people have been referring to as your 20-minute face, because about 20 minutes into the documentary, something is revealed and you kind of realize, Dorothy, we ain't in Kansas anymore, and this is not going to go like a normal Dateline NBC episode. So here are some of your reactions. First up, Judy. There's Judy's reaction.
Yep.
Judy, that was about my reaction. Next up, here's Anita. Anita, yep. Look at Anita. Oh, Anita, I love her. Look at her face. Another one I got, look at this. Amy. Amy Jo sent us her picture. Yep, there's a dude. Yeah, that's about mine as well. There's her. Yep. I'm telling you, this was, and my co-host Alexis on the radio, she recorded her. Oh, look, he's in the audience today. Meredith sent this picture of her husband Richard's face. Yeah, Richard, right? Yeah. Journey is up next. This is another one of my favorites, audience. Look at this one. This is Journey. Here's Shane's 20-minute face, not Shane Wells,
I know,
but
I'm
this
like, wait,
Shane.
what?
Yeah. He's like, what did Jason recommend to me? Yeah, you leave and you're angry, you're sad, you're befuddled. It is a mix. It's like a cereal bowl of emotions.
Yeah, this poor girl.
Yeah.
Put into this situation so many times, and now mom's making money off of it.
Yeah, well, they both are. I mean, they both go
But
on these
that's part
speaking.
of my issue too.
Yeah.
I have so many problems with this.
And you come at this, I mean, for people who don't, you are a mother, so you come at this from the point of view of you have two kids.
I'm thinking of Karis.
Yeah, you're thinking of Karis.
I'm thinking of Karis, and it just, ugh.
Let us know what you think on social media. You already have. God, we love you. And if you want to find it, again, it's on Netflix, and it's called Abducted in Plain Sight. It's about an hour and 20 minutes. And if you're in a good mood, don't watch it. Like, if you've had a really bad day at work, and like you're already in a bad mood, then watch it, because you can't. It'll just keep your mood going. Still ahead, we've got a couple entrepreneurs in the house showing off their pickle dip, which is getting, I know you're thinking, pickle dip? It's getting rave reviews. But next, we're talking the best and worst of yesterday's Super Bowl commercials with an ad expert. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us. I know, people are so mad.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's amore. When the stars...
That was good. Welcome back, everybody. That's one of the commercials from T-Mobile that aired during the big game last night. As most of you know, yesterday was not only the Super Bowl, but it was really the Super Bowl of commercials. And we are running down the good, the bad, and the really boring. Here to help us sort it out, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mike Coggin, everybody. Chief Creative Officer at Call McVoy. Thanks for being here, Mike.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question right off the top that has been driving me nuts the last 5 years. And I'm so glad you're here. As a specialist in this field, what is the advantage to these companies like Budweiser or this year Stella releasing the ad before the Super Bowl? You know what I mean? Because to me, it takes away my another reason for me to watch the game. Is there an advantage to the advertisers?
Sure, there is. There are definitely a lot of people who don't even want to see the ads. They consciously make a decision to turn off social as much as they can. But for the advantage to the brand, quite frankly, is to get media exposure. And so in addition to the $5 million plus that they've spent on the ad itself, all of the earned media, as we say in the business, all the earned media exposure helps them make that dollar stretch even further.
So for instance, I'll use the Stella Artois ad. They released it early, and shows like mine we talk about it, and we did.
Right.
So we did it, Mike. We did exactly what they wanted us to do, right?
Precisely. So think of.
Darn it, Mike! We fell into the trap. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they get more out of it that way. They stretch the dollar.
They do, and oftentimes what brands are doing to keep it fresh is they provide a different version for the actual air date. For the actual
good.
Super Bowl.
That
Yes,
I like.
yes.
Okay, let's go through some of your favorites because you are the professional. The first, the NFL commercial for the 100th anniversary. Audience, yeah, I like. What was it, Mike, about this one?
First and foremost, it was simple. Dead simple, and I think that's one of the key ingredients with Super Bowl advertising is just keep it really, really simple. The second ingredient is celebrity. So obviously, celebrity use is more the norm than it is not these days, but this was so chock full of celebrities, and if you're a football fan, holy cow.
It's like a Where's Waldo of
Yeah,
people.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think the total count was around 44 players, legends.
And again, correct me if I'm wrong, then that, if they're chock full, then that encourages the consumer to go back and rewatch it 4 or 5 times to see all of their favorites.
Exactly.
Way to go, NFL. Microsoft, we all win. What was this one, Mike? Why did you like this?
What I liked about this is, most of the commercials during the big game are humor-based, and what I like about this is it's a message about inclusion of all kinds, and so it's just such a heartfelt story. It's a true story. When you see the parents' reactions during the filming, you cannot act that. That is sincerity at its core. I mean, it really tugged at the heartstrings last night.
I love your number 3. I was hoping, because a lot of people didn't put this one on, and I loved it. The Hyundai, the elevator ad with Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
I loved this ad.
Yeah.
What was it about this? Was it, again, the simplicity of the concept?
It was very simple. The story really matched the story of what Hyundai wanted to tell you about, which was the shopper assurance program. But what was really nice about this is it had moments throughout the spot. It wasn't just your typical story arc where there's a big joke at the end. There are 5 or 6 jokes throughout that 60-second spot that were really nice.
Perfectly delivered, too, by Jason Bateman. He was a perfect person for that one. Okay, let's go with the good. There is the bad. Let's go to your least favorites. Burger King is your number 1. Eat Like Andy. Why?
Yeah.
I missed this one, Mike. What was the concept here?
They basically, my understanding is they found an old documentary, Andy Warhol documentary, of him simply unwrapping his burger and eating it. And for me, it was so unappetizing, so unappealing. It almost was counter to what a restaurant should and want consumers to think.
Andy, Mike, that's the whole ad?
That's the whole
ad. What we're watching is what they ran?
Exactly, yes.
Oh, that is awful.
Yeah.
I must have turned over to the puppy bowl at that point or something, yeah. Okay, TurboTax, the Robo-Child.
Yes.
What was wrong? There's a lot of tech this year, but what was wrong with this?
So many robots. The bottom line is the Robo-Child was creepy.
Yeah.
Really creepy, and not in a funny way, just in a creepy way.
And not really overly funny either.
No, it was an odd sense of humor. I know what they're going for, but it was just a miss.
No, I didn't laugh at that one either. Okay, the Michelob Ultra, the pure experience. I am with you on this one. People loved it. I saw this on the top list in some organizations. What did they miss here?
Here's the thing. So if you're on YouTube a lot, there's a phenomenon called ASMR, where it's these videos very much based like this commercial. That is a very, very small subset of some strange culture. And so for the masses, 110 million people plus, people are probably wondering what the heck is going on with this commercial.
I wondered, and look, I'm 44. I'm not young, but I'm steeped in pop culture.
Right.
You're talking to me. I had no idea what this was.
Yeah.
I did go back to the puppy bowl. I was like, I like her, but I was like, what is she doing rolling the bottle around the table? And she's on a microphone, and it was bizarre.
Totally bizarre. But if you go to YouTube and search ASMR, you will see many, many videos just like this one.
Mike, okay, so now that it's over and we have it's in the history books, what is the trend that we saw the most this year? What was the headline for you as an expert in this?
Yeah, so there are a couple things. There were lots of robots, which none of them really did well last night. But the bigger trend that I thought was more exciting was celebrity mashups. And so not just having celebrities in your commercials, but 2 or more celebrities that didn't feel like they were
in the same universe.
in the same universe.
Steve Carell and Cardi B for Pepsi. Is that one of them?
Exactly.
I loved that one.
Exactly. The Dude and Carrie Bradshaw, another great example. Backstreet Boys and Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
So,
I love that. Was a good one. So okay, give it up for Mike, everybody. We're gonna post this segment. You answered a lot of questions for me. We're going to post a segment to our Facebook page. Just search for Jason Show TV. Still ahead, networks love rolling out big premieres following the Super Bowl. What are the best and worst shows that have gotten that prime spot? And let me tell you, that's as prime as you can get. We'll be right back after these words. Stay with us, everybody. Thank you, Mike. That is awesome. I can't wait to watch that on my DVR later today. Welcome back. That's a clip from the new talent show, The World's... Oh, my goodness. Which premiered last night on CBS right after the Super Bowl. Now, if you guys don't know, World's Best is a global talent competition hosted by James Corden. The judges, you saw them there, Drew Barrymore, RuPaul, and Faith Hill. So a really good cast, but look at that. That is nuts. I'm excited to watch that. Well, one of the most incredible performances of the night came from the Japanese woman. Audience, I always like to tell you this because I know in the morning when you're watching our show, you're doing 40 different things. Come back to the TV. This is the miracle violinist is what she calls herself. She brought the audience and the judges to tears with her performance. See, the story goes she lost her arm in a car accident, but kept playing the violin with her prosthetic. Look at that. I'm fitting to cry right here. Let's just watch this for the next 20 minutes. I love that. Yeah, you can see that on CBS, and I'm sure it's on demand as of right now. Oh, my goodness. Look at her. That is amazing. The World's Best is the latest TV show to get that coveted post-Super Bowl spot. Now, we were not going to know the ratings for the show until later this morning, but TheWrap.com put together a list of some of the most and least watched shows to air after the Super Bowl of all time. Because again, let me tell you, the Super Bowl, if you guys don't know this, they rotate networks. Whoever has an NFL contract, that's how, if you ever wondered, why is it on that station? It rotates between the networks that have an NFL contract. Well, let's start here. The most watched show happened in 1996 on NBC. Any guesses? Look at this.
Meet me in the bathroom.
I'm going to the bathroom now.
Yeah! Such a good one. That's the season 2 episode of Friends with guest stars Julia Roberts, Brooke Shields, and more. Audience, listen to this. Nearly 53 million people watched that episode in January of 1996. To put that in perspective, a really successful show right now on the networks garners anywhere from 10 to 13 million viewers. That'll give you a perspective of what we're looking at. The second highest rated show aired on CBS in 2001. Now, before we roll it, just think about it. 2001, CBS. Any guesses? Look at this. Yep. Here's another second season. The second season of Survivor, which premiered on January 20th, 2001, this one grabbed more than 45 million viewers. I remember Colby from that year. That's the one contestant I remember. Other shows in the top 5 include Undercover Boss in 2010, Grey's Anatomy in 2006. That's surprising. I forgot. That's when ABC had an NFL contract. And The Voice in 2012. Yeah. Now, here's a look. With the good comes the bad. Here are the shows that tanked, the lowest rated ones. The third lowest rated is The Late Show with Stephen Colbert on CBS in 2016. Next is on our network, Fox had 24 Legacy in 2017, and the lowest rated ever. You had to go back all the way to 2003, Alias on ABC, which got 17.4 million viewers. And again, going back to what I said, This Is Us gets around 12 million, and they don't have the Super Bowl leading into them. That's crazy. Alias is a good show. My voice went up there like Peter Brady. Coming up next, foodies say it's some of the best dip they've ever had. I have friends that bring it to everything. We're going to try it for ourselves. The folks from Darling Pickle Dips are here. Wait till you see this. We'll be right back, friends. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Valentine's Day. Can't believe this. Feels like Christmas was just here, but Valentine's Day is right around the corner. But yeah. But when it's minus 20 outside, it's hard to think about going on a date. Our next guests have ideas on how you can spice things up with your loved one while staying at home. Give it up for the founders of, I love this name, Darling Pickle Dip, Brett and Sarah. Hi, ladies. I love a good company that has a good story behind it. How did you guys come to be? You've been friends for a while, right?
Yes, we met in the 9th grade, been best friends for over 20 years, and just a couple years ago we started making a version of one of these dips for our own get-togethers and decided to bring it out to the public.
Was it one of those things where you hear people go, when they bring a pie and people go, you should start selling that? Is that what happened? You had loved ones go, you two should really sell this?
Yeah, we had really good feedback. We ended up having a huge tasting party at one point just to determine final recipes and get feedback, and then everything else is history.
Okay, well let's get eating. So what are we starting with here? We're gonna make something, but what do we have right here?
So this is our Mexican street corn dip that we use our white cheddar and mustard with, a little bit of corn, cilantro, great with chips.
Okay. You don't have to tell me twice. You had me at white cheddar, mustard, and corn.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this recipe? I love I always love the process. How long, did this take to perfect? The recipe?
Like 4 minutes. It's only 4 ingredients, so it's very simple. It's a cup of corn, it's a couple tablespoons of dip, some cilantro and cumin. Just stir it up, and you're ready to roll. You don't have to spend a lot of time. The dips are great as a standalone ingredient, or you can incorporate them into your favorite recipes.
That is. All right. I'm excited to try the other stuff, but I think we have a winner.
Nice. I know. It's so good. People love that one.
That is so good. I could easily eat that tub without even blinking. So,
yes.
Okay. So what are we making
So
here?
I am making some open-faced BLT heart-shaped pita breads. So
Look at you.
just
Okay.
get a little hard cookie cutter, cut
Okay.
some pita bread or naan, put on the original pickle dip.
This is like the Colonel's original recipe
Yes,
here, right?
exactly.
Okay,
They all came off of this one.
And what's all in that, if you don't mind me asking? What's the simplicity of that one?
Sure, so they're all cream cheese and white bean based.
Okay.
Then we blend fresh kosher dill pickles in and some dried dill and some other herbs and spices.
Oh.
And top with a little tomato. You could do this with your little darlings if you have little kids that you're staying home with.
Yeah, have them use the
Or a
little cart thing.
significant- Yep.
Aaron Schwab, come over here and eat this so I can keep talking. Aaron is always my food tester, everybody. She's always the one that I get. Give it up for Schwabarini over here. Yeah, you take off your headphones, okay.
Yes.
Eat that one. Just.
I will eat it.
Yeah, there you go. You don't have to put the whole thing in your mouth. Just a little bit. Is it good? Isn't that good? Don't talk. Just keep eating. Okay, yeah, then. Keep chewing. Okay, what do we have here?
And this is just a little charcuterie board. So you just use a tiny little heart-shaped cookie cutter. You can use salamis, cheeses. These are hand-carved peppers. And then just mix and match your favorite.
hand-carve these
I mean,
just
I
for
might
the
have been
show?
hand-carving these.
Look
I might have
at
been
you.
hand-carving these. And it's very simple. You can skewer them up if you've got your little darlings with you, or if you're with your significant other, feel free to use.
Again, let me ask you the spicy pickle here, because I have a lot of people in my life that like the spice. What's all in that one? Is it a little jalapeno? What kind of spices are in that one?
We do a pickled cherry pepper, so it's basically a spicy pimento. That's
So
blended
good.
in with the pickles. in
Okay,
that recipe.
Aaron, you done eating? Okay, no, now I have a second assignment. Go ahead and put that down. Try that corn dip, girl. Try that corn dip. You're gonna love it.
Don't have to ask me twice.
I know, isn't pickle dip romantic?
I mean, look, I love all of this, but is that good? Take that to the audience, Aaron. Take that to the audience. There we go. Aaron Schwabarini, everybody. Yeah, take that over there. Oh, you're stuck. You're stuck, Aaron. There we go. Okay, where can people find you guys?
Yeah, so we're in about 80 locations around the metro. Lunds and Byerly's, Kowalski's,
Wasn't that fun for
Hy-Vee's.
you guys to see your label like in grocery stores?
So fun,
Yeah,
yes.
you still walk in and go, look, there's my product right there.
Yes, we do
it is
all the
very
time.
exciting.
That would never get old for
No,
me. Yeah,
no.
don't ever
It
take me
was
because
really
I'll freak
cool.
out for you.
Yeah.
Give it up for Britt and Sarah, everybody. For more information on their dip, you're going to want it. Seriously. Get the corn, I'm telling you. For more information on their dip, head to darlingpickledips.com. And don't forget, you can watch full episodes of our show on our brand new YouTube channel. We post each day's episode, along with clips from the show around 1 or 2 that very same day. Please just go to YouTube, search for The Jason Show, and hit that subscribe button. We're going to wrap things up with some corn dip when we come back. Back after this. So, you know, it just comes up so fast. You know what I mean? Christmas and then... Welcome back, everybody. Shane joins me again on our banana couches. I know. This is, if you're wondering why we've been here the whole show, if you missed the top of the show, we had some technical difficulties with our big board over there. So we have just been comfy on this couch the whole hour.
I mean, usually I'm standing. So
Yeah, so
I
this
don't
is
mind
great.
this.
Yeah. I told you at the beginning of the show as well, we had some hot dish leftovers for you. Another trailer that aired during the Super Bowl has a lot of people talking this morning. And you know me, when I really like something, I want to share it with you. If you missed it, here is the perfectly edited, perfect everything ad for the Twilight Zone reboot. Look at this.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to beautiful Atlanta, Georgia, and the home of the E3.
Witness an empty space, filled with thousands of screaming people. A man both nowhere and everywhere at the same time. Answers are new questions. The unthinkable is the expected. When truth is not the truth, what dimension are you even in?
So perfectly produced.
All right, what streaming service do I have to buy to see this?
Well, here we go. That is, stand by. That's Jordan Peele, writer and director and everything of the movie Get Out. It's going to premiere on CBS All Access on April 1st. This is what I've written. No, Shane. No. Here's the deal.
Come back.
This is what I've kind of realized is, see, if you are a sci-fi fan, CBS Access is where it's at because you have the fantastic Star Trek Discovery, which I know you're not into, but for it, in which that show, I'm not a Trekker and I love it. It's a great show as an audience. And then there's gonna have another Star Trek spinoff. The Twilight Zone's on there. It's real. The Good Wife spinoffs on CBS All Access. It's good. Just take my password. I'll give you my password.
Take my money. Take my money, CBS.
Yeah, take my password. Hey, before we go, I want to send some love out to some dear friends of mine and friends of our show. You guys know from time to time, we've had our friends from the Smack Shack in downtown Minneapolis on our show. They've helped us many times with a Super Bowl party. I think we had one last year. Whenever we've asked, they've always been there. Well, we learned today, sadly, their leader over at Smack Shack, John, who is also a good friend of mine and my entire circle, passed away over the weekend. So I want to send some love to my Smack Shack family. You know, we all have a place that we go that's kind of like our Cheers. I live very close to Smack Shack, and it's kind of like my Cheers. And more importantly, John, like I said, was a dear friend, snarky as all get out, full of life. And my best friend Jen put it really well on Facebook. What this reminds, another reminder is life is so short. And if there's somebody in your life that you haven't said I love you to recently, pick up that blank phone and tell them, because I would do anything. I would do anything right now. I would do anything right now to have a little glass of white wine with John. So to my Smack Shack family, I love you very much, and we'll get through this. Tomorrow on the show, Colton's Quest for Love continues, and once again, our Bachelor Roundtable returns. And Shane, to recap all the drama from tonight's show. That and more tomorrow. Thanks for this audience that came out in the slippery weather to be with us. Happy birthday to Meredith, one of our Jason Show fan club members. And thanks to all of you for watching. If you are a kid that watches our show and you're being bullied, listen closely. You go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. We'll see you tomorrow, and don't forget, you can watch today's episode a little bit later on YouTube. Just search for The Jason Show and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, everybody. Drive safe today if you're out and about.